Yeah, joining us live right now is Miami-Dade Supervisor of Elections, Christina. Thanks so much for joining us, and good morning to you. So only 13% of voters so far have turned out in Miami-Dade County. How does that number stack up with previous elections, and what are you expecting today?
Good morning. Well, you know, that number is low in my opinion. A primary election usually has somewhere between 20 to 25% voter turnout. That's very, very low, especially when you're comparing that to a presidential election that will most certainly have in the high 70s. And so for us to be at around 13% so far, we're tracking on the lower side of a primary election. So I am here today to encourage all voters in Miami-Dade County who have not yet voted to go to their precinct today. Don't get thrown off by the term primary election. I think that is one of the things that we battle with here in the state of Florida. This election is for everybody. As was stated earlier, county mayor, county commission, school board, there are county referendums. And so regardless of your party affiliation, this is an election for you, and you should be coming out to vote today.
Christina, after the 2020 presidential election, there were a lot of allegations nationwide of electoral fraud. What can you tell voters to ensure that they feel their vote is certainly being counted and kind of push away the apathy that is always resonates during the primaries?
First and foremost, it's all been unsubstantiated, right? Those claims of fraud have really not been supported or backed up with any sort of evidence. I want our voters to feel 100% safe and secure that their vote is being counted fairly, accurately, and transparently. How is that? There's so much that we can get into about that. We should probably do a special on it. But in Florida, and from what I understand, over 95% of voters in the nation right now are voting on a paper ballot. And that means that we, as elections officials, have a paper record of every single vote that has been cast that we can go back to. If there's ever any question about the results, if we ever have a recount or public records requests, so we can go back to that paper record. All voting equipment is tested in advance of use. Everything, and I mean everything, is open to the public. You can come to the department, watch vote by mail opening, watch canvassing board meetings, watch the testing of our equipment. Even in the polls, there are poll watchers that are there on behalf of political parties and candidates observing everything that we're doing. And then at the end, the canvassing board, who is a separate entity over the elections department staff, they are the ones that certify the election. And there is a ton of reconciliation that is done to ensure and verify the results are accurate before that is done. The best thing that I can say is for you to feel confident is for you to participate. We're going to need a lot of poll workers for the presidential election, so come and be part of the team, see for yourself all the safeguards that are in place, and then you can be convinced, and you can also help be an ambassador with your friends and family that you may not be always happy with the outcome of the election, but you're certainly going to know that the process and the procedures were done properly.
Sure. I think that's key. I think a lot of people didn't know that you can show up and
watch it,
observe, right? Yeah. All right.
You do have, not to mislead anybody, you do have to register in advance and, you know, on behalf of a campaign or a candidate. But yes, there's certainly people observing and, you know, taking part in the process. And that really is the ultimate confidence builder.
Well, that process gets underway in just a few minutes. Christina, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.